I am so excited to be debuting your very first podcast. You've been talking about this for a long time, conceptualizing it. Now you are the reluctant entrepreneur. I'm ching ching. Congratulations. But I mean, sadly though, you find yourself with a topic that is not a nice one. You know, the reluctant entrepreneur.
I wish I was a recognized entrepreneur or the rewarded entrepreneur.
Yeah, because that's what we love, right? We love good stories. We love saying, you know, this person is an entrepreneur, successful. We don't even know how to define it, by the way. But we love celebrating. We don't really talk about reality, right?
Yep.
And
I'm
reality
reluctant
sucks.
because 5 years in, fell face flat.
Yeah.
Face flat on the ground.
And face first.
Yes. And I'm here scratching my head on how did I go wrong? And I look forward to just unpacking my journey. And you know, I've done everything right. I've put in the hard work. I had the clients. I followed my passion, and here I am, scratching my head, wondering what happened.
Yeah. And I mean, did you for 1 minute think that you would fail so gloriously?
Never ever did I think, because I thought I had the right ingredients to take me on this journey. I had the passion, I had the background, I had the networks, I had people wanting to give me money. But yeah, here I am rethinking about, you know, this journey.
But tell us about this concept that you had. Your store was unbelievable. Your creative work, I saw it and it was really gorgeous.
My business was really a passion business. I followed my passion for fashion, having grown up in a textile household. And I thought I had the right ingredients to really open a fashion boutique. It was in Hyde Park, right across Hyde Park Square. I was catering to a clientele that I thought I understood very well. I called it an African name because I thought we wanted to see more of ourselves, you know, in retail. And I really made the experience beautiful. Like there were candles, there was music. You could wash your hands, you know, at the door. And we made it comfortable in the fitting room because I thought women wanted to spend more time in a fitting room that is spacious, instead of, you know, those little fitting rooms in the malls. So I really thought I put myself at the heart of the client's needs, and I thought I was doing well. Clearly not.
and I think that we think about the markers of doing well in terms of how something looks. I mean, I don't know how I've seen the most beautiful concept stores, you know, where people have gone all out and it looks absolutely incredible. But I knew that the model would not work no matter how hard and no matter how beautiful something is.
See, no one told me that. I wish someone would have whispered in my ear and said, Vuyo, have you looked at the overheads? Have you looked at the cost of running a physical retail store? But instead, we got, you know, people celebrating us, edging us on and encouraging us to keep going. And those conversations literally last for 10 minutes, and they're not there 10 months down the line when you can't make rent.
And they're not even a client.
Nope.
They don't even support you more than once.
Nope.
And I have told many people, don't do it. If you do it, if you absolutely have to, don't do it. It is not easy to be an entrepreneur. And we don't get enough of those messages. Just literally how many pitfalls and how many dangers there are for your general entrepreneur, especially when you don't have a very, very deep pocket to waste endlessly. You know, you don't have rent for days.
And people don't realize that entrepreneurship is a science. There's a formula to making it work. You know, it's not just passion and magic and the universe and things happening. There's a real science. So at 1 year, I made 2.9 million. That was not profit. That was money that came into the business and out of the business. And I did feel like I worked hard, but I had nothing to show that year. So that's the other thing, that you need to understand the science behind entrepreneurship. And most of us have not really done business 101. We're just going with gut and hope.
And that is the most dangerous thing. People think that money in the bank is money made. They don't think. And some people can't even calculate. I mean, I have come across an entrepreneur who cannot calculate the fact that when you get a good from somebody and you sell it, that money, 99% of it is probably not yours. Margin of profits are often so small. You have to pay the person that gave you the garment,
Yep.
or you have to pay for the fabric of the garment, the people that stitched the
transport.
garment, the transport of that. To hang it was a cost, for example. But when they get that amount of money, they think that that's actually their money, often leaving people with the out of pocket because they don't think about the expenses that were required to actually produce that good. How is it that somebody's mind cannot calculate all these things that go into a cost, and when the dress is paid for, they actually think that they've made money?
And it actually, that cost, the real cost of selling something, makes you so resentful when someone actually asks you for a discount. You're like, I'm not making anything. I'm literally just giving you away, the item. So just appreciating the cost of something, not just from an entrepreneur perspective, but from a client perspective. When you ask for that discount, really know what you're asking for.
So are you going to be sharing a lot of your pains, your mistakes? Are you going to be sharing,
I don't want to make it a cry
dissuade, but you're going to dissuade people. You're going to say, I'm the only one that's going to tell you about reality. Don't do it.
Listen, I still believe in myself and I still have an entrepreneurial spirit within me, but I want to go into my next venture with my eyes open, knowing the truth. And even if you come to me and say, Vuyo, don't do it, I'll still be able to listen to you and weigh the pros and the cons. Before, it was very, I believe in myself. I had all the vision boards and the coats and everything on my wall, but really it's not about that.
It is not about that. Well, coming up shortly, we're going to discuss your very first topic, is why choose it? Why even choose to be an entrepreneur? Cool. Okay, great. You won't believe it. I've landed myself in a dwang. I have a meeting at 2 o'clock.
P.
Online. I'm going to keep it real short.
Okay. Let's take it.
Okay, so let's go for the next one. Right. So, Vuyokazi, I mean, for me, listen, by the way, I have been an entrepreneur many times over and I laugh about it. I think I did okay. I think I managed to pay salary. It feels like I sort of went for it. I'm not 100% sure. I lost a lot of money. I invested a lot of money. I got a lot out from an experience point of view because I got really good jobs as a consultant. I got jobs that I wouldn't have gotten if I just stayed in one organization for a very long time. But I'm with you on this page in terms of saying there's nothing like a full-time job that pays you at the end of the month, every month. Even though I think people who are employed can actually tell you that they hate their jobs or they hate working. But why would you choose to be an entrepreneur?
Listen, I had a degree from Rose University in journalism and media studies. So I had a 9-to-5 before venturing into entrepreneurship. But as a journalist, having been sent on assignments and being controlled, I didn't like control really. I wanted freedom. And I wanted to be able to afford those experiences that I was enjoying as a journalist, as a person, not as a story writer or a TV producer or presenter. So I was really wanting freedom and I wanted to live because I find that the newsroom sometimes controls how you view things and how you package things. So there was a bit of moral reason for choosing entrepreneurship and wanting my own freedom.
And I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people sort of like venture out because they're just tired of being controlled. And that's the downside of being employed, is that you must do what you are employed to do. Yeah, do what you are requested and what you have agreed on your contract that you're going to get paid to do A, B, C, and D. So suck it up, basically.
Then I was always that entrepreneur that used to knock on the CEO's door because I had a great idea. Always. And I think I was very annoying. And that's how I fell in love with the term entrepreneur, because you can be an entrepreneur inside an organization. But I realized that South Africa was not ready to embrace people like me in corporate. And I was really always getting a promotion because I was always knocking on the CEO's door. But it was really not getting me where I needed to be, because I would think about how can I turn around this corporate? why are we not doing that? Or we're doing this.
But let me be honest with you as well. Is that you're very, very young, right? And I find that young people in South Africa are very impatient. You're so young, and yet you want to turn around that corporate. You want to change this corporate that's been around for like, why this blue? This blue just didn't really do well for our feng shui. But why is it that young people in South Africa, they want to do things, they feel like they should have an opinion that should be listened to now? How do we get to this point of just utter entitlement?
Batch of people, and I was humbled because I realized that people have spent 20 years building this institution, and you can't just walk in and want to turn things around. And I have burnt bridges, to be honest, because of that attitude. And here I am. But some of them have stood till the test of time. That's why I can knock back on those doors and say, hey guys, like you, I supported my business through consulting. I still fell back on my journalism degree, and I was doing a bit of publishing work.
And I love what you're saying, because again, we need honesty, we need humility, and we need honesty. So we all learn, by the way, the hard way. Nobody's learning with an ice cream spoon in their mouth. I hope not, anyway, because I'd be very, very upset about that. But we all learn by going back and saying, being papa, wrong, or I was too forceful, or I was too this, or I was too that. And I hope that young people can hear your message as well, to say, but sometimes you can be a little bit too ahead of yourself. And not have the humility to take things, a little bit at a time. And then now looking back as well into corporate as well, do you think that if you stayed longer, you would have had a better idea of how to go out and be an entrepreneur?
Listen, I look at my peers who are head of newsrooms, who are senior journalists and anchors, and who are my clients right now. And some of them are already in their second homes, And I do look at that with envy, because I have a bad credit record right now. No bank wants to touch me with a 10-foot pole. But so I do feel like there is something that doing one thing for a long time that is rewarding. And the world does reward those people. And there's also something to be said. I feel like entrepreneurship sometimes can feel like you're gambling. It's high stakes and high rewards. And maybe I might make it. Maybe I might have 10 properties, in 5 years' time, and I won't owe the bank. But when you are going through it right now, you do feel the pain.
And it's so true, because my sister's an entrepreneur like that. I can't tell you how many times my sister, and even the other day she says to me, she's selling some of her assets. She goes, I've been down this road before. I sell assets. I will build them up again. So she knows how to weather the bad times and knows how to stand up again and find her feet and get those properties and buy those assets again. And if she has to downscale again, she changes gears. She phones the car company. Come get it. Come get this car. I'm selling this one. I'm selling that one. But and I'm proud of her, because I've walked this journey down with her for many, many years. So yes, you're absolutely right. You can get back onto that saddle. You need as much resilience to be an entrepreneur as what you need to stay in corporate with the politics and the knives on your back and the sabotage and all of that. You need as much energy in life, I think.
I guess.
For both.
I guess. And you just have to choose which one, which of the two.
Yeah, which bitter pill are you going to drink? Because oftentimes as well, don't you find that there are too many role models that look like they're having the most fantastic time?
I know for sure that not all that glitters is gold, because I have rubbed shoulders with the people that I was putting on a pedestal as entrepreneurs. But when you do the due diligence and really ask them the hard questions, how are you able to win this award, or how are you able to be recognized for that, or get this funding? And you realize that what they show us is not the reality of being an entrepreneur every day. So I also hope to explore those conversations and really get to know the behind the scenes of all these businesses and personalities that we have been celebrating in South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, you would be shocked. There are people who get awards for entrepreneur who hire 3 people.
And it's not an expose, really. It's really to just unpack and get to know the story behind.
But I think it's also to help people to maybe find the right kinds of role models and look for the right signs and ask the right questions. Because if we see a limited picture, then our step ladder is missing steps.
Yep. You'll fall.
Yeah, you will fall through the cracks because you haven't built a good enough view of what all the little steps are that can take me to where I need to get to. You're getting these glamorous, shiny steps, but they've got huge gaps in between because actually that person didn't walk that road in essence.
So I'm a reluctant entrepreneur, not because I am reluctant about entrepreneurship. I'm going into it now with my eyes wide open. I'm asking all the right questions, and I'm having the people come through to the studio and have these conversations with us, so that we have a few things that we know for sure, and we tackle our next chapter very clear.
Good luck.
Thank you. Will you make it?
Okay, Tato, put it on pause. That was good. Why?
What are you doing? Guys, this is unacceptable. Where's you? I'm not a snitch, sir. You're not a snitch. Tell me I'm seeing in my office when you get there. This is
I need to run away.